And say that again, because I interrupted. That's important to sink in for people.
That the Pentagon under Joe Biden assessed, because they assess the likelihood of everything, or they guess, they sort of work out how they think things will progress. But in every scenario globally, they do this. This is what they do at the Pentagon. And they assess that if we gave certain weapons that allowed the Ukrainians to strike targets within Russia, if we did that, which we did, the chance of a nuclear exchange, nuclear holocaust that killed everybody on Earth, would be 50%. And they did it anyway. So imagine the brain, imagine the evil. Like, you would have to be controlled by like supernatural forces to do something. I think there's a 50% chance every person on Earth could be killed in a nuclear exchange, but I'm doing it anyway. Like, how are you still walking free? I'm serious.
No, and I'm glad you brought that assessment up, because I've really tried to get people to focus on that. And I agree with that assessment. I mean, let's boil that down. Imagine if Russia had the equivalent of ATACMS and Storm Shadows in Canada, in Mexico, on our border, that they can fire above the trees that can't be shot down, that are nuclear capable. And Putin said this. He said, if you shoot a few missiles once it started, we'll just shoot them down. But if we see a large aerospace attack with a whole bunch of these, we have to believe it is a first strike to take out our nuclear deterrent. And so when we see a large signature of a large aerospace attack, be it cruise missiles, be it glide bombs, be it a mix of aircraft, or all of them, we will do a total commitment. And then Russian TV said, here's the government scenario, and it showed nukes hitting all the NATO countries and submarines hitting on from there. And we're talking about world destroyed in 30 minutes, folks, for sure. Submarines off our coast, 2 minutes, New York's gone. 5 minutes, Dallas is gone. This is real. What would happen if Russia was bombing D.C. with conventional bombs, with large, heavy cruise missiles?
They're droning the capital. As the U.S. did through the Ukrainians, they droned the Kremlin.
You were there once when you saw one blow up?
I was there. What would we do if the Russians droned the U.S. Capitol or the White House? Like, that's so freaking crazy.
Well,
I can't believe that happened.
Russia knows it's a provocation. The globalists want to reset. Their financial system's going down, and they're willing to roll the dice, and they think a nuclear war is survivable, as you know, as the Pentagon has said. So it's complete madness.
Nuclear war is not survivable. That's a fact.
It's not.
By the way, nuclear weapon explodes over a nuclear power plant. What happens? Does anyone know?
Massive meltdown that makes Fukushima look like a
exactly. And we have a lot of nuclear power plants around the world. So
there's over 450 that are big industrial, thousands of small ones. And when society breaks down, they all melt down in different ways, much worse than Fukushima and Chernobyl combined.
I agree.
And it makes the whole surface of the earth, that's mainline science, unlivable for hundreds of millions of years.
I agree.